Hi there, my name is Tasnia and welcome to the very first episode of Tasi's Immigrant Podcast. Woohoo! Yeah!
I'm very happy that my daughter, she is with me and the first episode.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm just going to read off here. Before we start the episode, I want to give a quick intro for what this podcast is about. So I am a 23-year-old Bengali American student at Hunter College. I love anime and BTS, the K-pop band, and I'm a film major. And I founded this podcast with the dream that this can be a safe space and historical platform for all immigrants to come here sharing their immigrant experience stories and talk deeply about their thoughts and feelings surrounding the subject in ways that we would probably never learn about in school textbooks. I especially hope children of immigrants may hear about these stories and grow more fond of the strength, resilience, and willpower that our immigrant parents took to raise us here in the United States today. These survival stories are important, and I don't want them to be left behind generations from now. All right, well, thank you for listening to that intro. Now let's move on to the episode. For our very first episode, we've got Mohammad son Miah, who is an immigrant from Dhaka, Bangladesh. This is a very special guest because he's my dad, my Baba, right? So, Baba, thank you for being here.
You're
And
welcome.
for your very first question, I'd like you to tell me about yourself. So go ahead and introduce who you are.
All right, I'm really happy to have here and with my daughter. My name is Mohammad Hassan Miah, and my nickname is Hassan, and everybody call me Hassan. I like that one. And I'm immigrant, and I have wife, my son, and my daughter. I'm a chemist. I work in a pharmaceutical. We live in New York. I'm really happy having my kids, family, and my house and job.
Okay, great. My next question for you is how did you get the opportunity to immigrate?
All right. It's a long story. Become immigrant of USA. I will make it as short as possible. 1990, there was a lottery, and it was I-90 or OP1. People used to call that lottery visa for America. My mother-in-law, she won the lottery of OP1, and later on it was changed to DB1, etc. So as she win the lottery, which is OP1, the whole family, other than two daughters, they all become US immigrant, and they all came USA. And after that, they left having their green card. And I got married to Selena Akhtar as she was the immigrant of USA. I mean, she had the green card. When I got married, she sponsored me. It took about 3 years, some plus months to become immigrant, and we came together USA as an immigrant.
Yeah, I also remember my mother telling me that when her mother won the lottery to immigrate to the US, they felt that there was no point for my grandmother, my nanny, to immigrate because she was already so old, she had settled down, all her kids are here, she doesn't know English. So they decided instead for my mom, who is the youngest daughter, and her brother, who is the youngest child, right?
Yes.
They decided to have them to immigrate because they know English and they have a whole life ahead of them. They didn't have kids yet. They had just started getting married. So that's why the opportunity to immigrate came upon my mom and dad. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my next question for you is what are some beautiful things you experienced as a new immigrant and what are some challenges?
All right. the experience I had in the USA is much more different than our country. That was my dream to be out of the country, to have most better life, better education. So when I came this country, I found out that if somebody can work hard regarding the education, regarding the job, and as well as to establish himself or herself in this country, it has a lots of opportunity. It doesn't matter which field you choose, any field, but it's a country of opportunity. Only thing we have to use our time, and we have to continue working hard for the achievement. So I found out that it doesn't matter how old you are, age doesn't matter, only if you can do the job, you can go to school even you are little older, doesn't matter, and then you can get your degree regardless of your age, and you can find a job if you really try to get a good job. It is possible. As I said, it's country of opportunity. So that is the most beautiful part, that I started my education, master's in organic chemistry, and I did it, I got it, as well as the lifestyle is very disciplined and regulated country. So those are the things that it attracted me. I work hard and I achieve my goal.
Okay. What was your first job when you immigrated here?
Good question. I am not hiding anything. When I moved here, actually I had a very good job in our country, um, having a good office. But when I came here, I was out of job for 17 days, and that 17 days was a very tough time for me. But I was thinking that any kind of job I need for survive. So I contact with someone, then he helped me to get a job in a restaurant. And at the beginning, I had kind of hesitation to do the job, but when I realized that job is job, doesn't matter what time, and we have to just pay attention whatever you were doing to survive, and I continued doing that one. And from there, actually, my life started. I got some extra money, and from that money, I was able to pay my tuition fee, my rent, and daily whatever we need expenses to live in New York. So that was the
New York
only
City,
New York City,
Queens.
So that was the only place that I made money. Good place. Even there was a restaurant. It was an Italian restaurant, and there was odd job, but I, continued for some time until I got my professional job.
Yeah, just some fun facts I want to throw out there, just going more about what Baba said. First of all, I think it's really cool that I am only a citizen in the United States because of a lottery. Like, I like to call myself a lottery baby because I wouldn't have been here if it weren't for my grandmother winning that lottery. So I think that's just a really cool thing to talk about. And something else I want to say about your history, your first job. So Baba told me that he met Madonna several times at the restaurant because she was a customer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's very cool.
And Mayor Giuliani also.
Who?
Giuliani.
Who is that?
Mayor, New York City mayor.
Oh, okay, at the time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. And we were living in Woodside, Queens. We were in this tiny little apartment with like 5 other relatives of ours, and it was only like a 2-bedroom,
Yes.
but there was 9 of us living there, and 7 of us, or 5, 6, about 6 of us were children. So there was a bunch of toddlers running around, or little 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, and when my dad took that first job in the restaurant, the Italian restaurant in Manhattan, he was also being a dad for the first time. So he was raising his son, who is 4 years older than me, and he was also raising me, who was a newborn baby. And I was born September 5, so just a couple days before 9/11. Yeah, my dad was working at the restaurant at the same time of getting his master's in chemistry at City College University, or City College, which is a part of the CUNY program. And I go to Hunter College, so I think it's cool that we were both part of the CUNY life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people call it CUNY. Very interesting, but I call it CUNY.
I call CUNY too.
Yeah, CUNY. All right, so my next question for you is, what was the reaction of your family when you told them that you want to immigrate here? So your parents, your siblings, how did they feel about you leaving?
Actually, in Bangladesh, when I was a student of 12th grade, then I was thinking to move out from my country to some other good country like Australia, Canada, Singapore, or England, or America. I was keep trying and trying and trying. So I forced myself, to prepare to get out for the better life, better education. When I was ready, and then I let my parents, my family, know that, I got the opportunity to leave the country, Bangladesh, but nobody was happy. Especially my father, he was so sad that I would leave them behind, and maybe they would not see me anymore. Because of that, they told me not to go out of the country, but I was so strong determined that I have to go out, and I promised that sometimes I will come to visit, and for my higher education, better life, I need to move out. And even they were unhappy, I just left the country for better life. And other people, my friends, nobody was happy. That was 1996. But I forced myself, continue moving forward for better life, better education.
Yeah, very tough decision, but what I'm learning here is from my Baba is that sometimes your parents won't understand what's best for you. You might know better, and you have to pursue that dream, even if they don't understand. There's certain cases where that could be the truth, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I've certainly made decisions that my parents, as immigrants, did not understand. Like, they wanted me to go into STEM, into being a nurse or a doctor or something like that. And that's very traditional for Asian children of immigrants to take that pathway. But I instead said I want to be a film major. And the first time I said that, I got a lot of backlash from my entire family, because they didn't understand that this is the dream that I have, and I think I can be really successful here. But a few years later, my dad saw me working at film festivals. He saw me make a movie. He's read my screenplays, and then he realized, like, wow, my daughter's actually really talented, and she's doing something very cool. And this podcast came to life, which is here to serve the immigrant community. And then I have some other movies. I want to make documentaries about vulnerable populations in Bangladesh, such as the rickshaw drivers, the maids, and women especially in the village. So, this is, you have to take that path. You really have to. If he didn't take that path, who knows what kind of struggling we would have had in Bangladesh, because at the time it was just very hard to get by. If you weren't already rich, then you don't really have the opportunity to climb the economic ladder too well. Also, the political climate was very scary. It still is. So yeah, that's that.
Actually, there was a reason why they disagree about my decision, because I had higher education from back home, master's degree in organic chemistry and with honors, and I had a very good job in a pharmaceutical company as a product development officer, which was more than enough to survive in our country. But what I thought that education-wise and better life-wise, Bangladesh is not the perfect place because of political situation, and I had dream regarding the leadership, regarding the higher education and much more better life to maintain, anywhere in the world, not in Bangladesh. I like Bangladesh, but I move out to, prepare myself much better than, from Bangladesh. So I just took the decision to move out and I did it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right, so got a few more questions here. My next question for you is, what is something you really miss about your home country?
My country, my birthplace, I definitely, respect my country, like the people.
Where were you born?
I born in a village called Sonarchor, its name, at Kumilla, and I have actually at that time my parents, when they alive, I used to go everywhere, so that was the most important time to go, and I miss them a lot. Every day I used to, think about my parents when I would go to visit them. So that was very exciting moment, to help them and go there, spend time. So basically I miss my parents a lot, but they passed away. My brothers and sisters are there. I want to see them. I miss them. I have some friends, and I still, have a connection. I call them. I miss them as well as my wife's family. I like them too. I miss them too. So basically, friends and relatives, I miss them a lot.
Okay. Yeah, we are going to Bangladesh soon in a few weeks. So we are gonna go visit his siblings, his friends, everybody. So we're all very excited to go back to their home country. I love Bangladesh. It's like a second home for me. So my very last question for you, what is something you love about who you are?
I'm, sincere, honest, dedicated. That is, really, I have it and I prove in the community. Because of that, I was able to do the work for the mosque, and because of my sincerity, honesty, we got the permission from the planning board to build a new mosque. And at job also, because of sincerity, I am one of the most important analysts in my workplace.
The pharmaceutical.
So pharmaceutical, and everybody like my work a lot. So that's my quality, and I'm really happy for that.
So what you love about who you are is how sincere you are, how hardworking, how honest, and how accomplished, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say watching my dad my whole life, soaring through so many different careers and working so hard at the mosque, I definitely would say the number one thing about him is that he's very hardworking. Yeah, and that's not a new thing that happened in the United States. It was always, ever since he was a child, he was my age, he was always hardworking as well. I think because he's so hardworking, I kind of was born with the genetics to be hardworking too. I know it doesn't work like that, but obviously
Right.
I grew up seeing this, and so I was inspired to become that type of hardworking person myself. So I think that's really awesome.
Right, I'm really glad to my daughter's work, and definitely she will do better because she's hardworking too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we've just wrapped up our very first episode. Thank you so much for being here. Feel free to connect with us on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I would love to hear from you in the comments section. And if you have any immigrant that you know of, like your parents, your friend, your teacher, a student, whoever is interested to come on the show, I would love to have them here and share their survival story. And yeah, the last thing I wanted to say is we can meet in person or via Zoom. So there isn't the pressure of, me coming to your house or you coming to mine or anything. But yeah, thank you so much. This is Tasi's Immigrant Podcast, and I hope you have a very wonderful day.
Good
Bye
job.
bye.